Something powerful is happening in the sky, but this is no ordinary full moon. This is a lunar eclipse, a rare cosmic event that brings deep spiritual revelations. Hidden fears may be rising to the surface, and a portal for transformation exists. Join me to explore the deep spiritual meaning of this lunar eclipse. Did you know that lunar eclipses only can happen on a full moon? Every full moon, the sun and moon are in exact opposition, creating the brightest night of the month. But not every full moon is an eclipse. It only happens when the moon is close to the nodes, points that represent fate and karma in astrology. This happens about twice a year, once in the spring and once in autumn. This specific eclipse is happening with the moon near south node, which in Vedic astrology is also called Ketu. Ketu correlates with the past, and it's about release, past life patterns, and things that we are very familiar with. So what are moon's nodes and why do they matter? The nodes aren't planets, but invisible mathematical points where the moon's orbit intersects the ecliptic. They are linked to destiny, past lives, and future growth. The south node, also called Ketu in Vedic astrology, represents that which is familiar, that which you have mastered in your past lifetimes. But the north node Rahu represents the unknown, that which we must embrace for the evolution of our soul. There is an ancient Hindu story that explains why eclipses are happening. In Hindu mythology, Rahu and Ketu, which is Moon's south node and Moon's north node, once were a single being, an asura, which is demon, who stole the nectar of immortality. So let me tell you the story. The story is about churning of the ocean. The gods, devas, and the demons, asuras, churn the ocean of milk to obtain amrita, which is nectar of immortality. The churning produced many divine and mystical objects, including the nectar. We see that so-called good forces and so-called bad forces were working together. But then, Lord Vishnu, in the form of enchanting maiden Mohini, took charge of distributing the nectar. To prevent the demons from becoming immortal, Mohini secretly ensured that only the gods received the nectar, only the devas. But there was a demon named Svarbhanu, and he realized the trick. He disguised himself as a god and sat among the devas. Before anyone could stop him, he drank some of the amrita, making him immortal. Then, the sun god, Surya, and the moon god, Chandra, noticed the deception and alerted Vishnu, who immediately beheaded Svarbhanu, the demon, with his Sudrahana chakra. However, since the nectar had already entered his body, his head and his body remained immortal. And this is how Rahu and Ketu were born. The severed head became Rahu, representing the north node of the moon, and headless body became the Ketu, representing the south node of the moon. Rahu and Ketu were transformed into celestial entities and placed in the sky. They are believed to be responsible for eclipses, as Rahu periodically swallows the sun and moon in revenge for exposing him. This is how Hindus explain solar and lunar eclipses in their ancient stories. Rahu, being head, is obsessed with consuming, chasing, and desiring. Ketu, being body, is headless, detached, and spiritually free. To this day, Rahu and Ketu swallows the sun and moon, creating eclipses. So what is the deeper spiritual meaning of this lunar eclipse? Moon is conjunct Ketu, the south node, and this means that old emotional patterns, subconscious fears, and past life wounds may surface. And if something from your past is coming up right now, it is not to hurt you, it is to help you heal. The purpose of this eclipse is revelation. It reveals what's been in shadows in your subconsciousness. It might feel intense, but it's showing you what needs to be released. Ask yourself, what old fears or wounds are coming up right now? Have you been reacting emotionally to something that reminds you of a past event? This eclipse is showing you these patterns so that you can notice them and let them go. Right opposite the moon in Virgo, we have Sun in Pisces. This Sun is conjunct Rahu, the north node, and it is illuminating your soul's path forward. Sun represents the awareness of your soul, and Rahu represents the future, where you are going and what is good for you to embrace. Then, along with the Sun and Rahu, we also have Saturn in Pisces there. Saturn represents the structure of reality. In Pisces is dissolving illusions and showing us deep spiritual truths. There is also Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is the energy of dreams, illusions, and also of spiritual awakening. So there is a great potential for spiritual awakening happening right now. This eclipse is like a cosmic mirror that is showing our inner world reflected in external world. So we can notice what is in there and shift our consciousness for the best. So how can we navigate this eclipse spiritually? This eclipse is not a time for action. It is actually a time for reflection. It is time for meditation and mindfulness. Reflecting how far you have come and where do you want to go. Don't react impulsively. Instead, observe what is coming up. A good journaling prompt could be, what is this eclipse revealing to me about my past and how can I grow from it? It is a good time to look back in the past, especially past hurts, past traumas that you may have had, and reflect on what was the purpose of these past hurts or traumas that happened. What wouldn't have been possible if they wouldn't have happened? And finding forgiveness and moving on from those things. It is a great time for forgiveness, especially forgiveness about the past. You can also sit in meditation with your emotions without judgment. Let them surface, observe them, and release them. A great affirmation for this eclipse is, I release the past with love and step into my highest path. And I forgive my past hurts, for they made me who I am today. Acceptance is what we are looking for. Forgiveness is what we are looking for. This is a powerful time for healing and transformation. What themes are coming up for you during this eclipse? Drop a comment below. I would like to hear your experiences. And if you have found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an astrological update that can help you on your journey. Remember, eclipses bring shadows to the light, but once we see them, we can heal them. This is our opportunity for a breakthrough. I hope you embrace it. Goodbye.